Why do we watch A Christmas Story, the movie, every year? Now, I know some people watch it more than once a year, and some people watch it a couple of times around Christmas. But why has it become such a holiday classic, or as I will explain, a holiday ritual? First, watch this.
Oh, preparing to go to school was like getting ready for extended deep sea diving.
I'm afraid I'll wake up and find it's one of those false alarms of Christmas, so that I
Come on, Mom, we're gonna be late.
All right, Ralph.
not dreaming.
My kid brother looked like a tick about to pop.
What? What is it? What is it? Oh. What is it?
I can't put my arms
Well, put your arms down when you get to school.
So, A Christmas Story, the movie, addresses rituals. Watching the movie is a ritual that we engage in, maybe every year. But the movie takes rituals from everyday life, even if they're not exactly the way we live our lives, and uses those rituals to seduce us into watching the movie ritualistically every year. Let me explain this to you. Gene Shepard, the screenwriter for the movie, was a friend and colleague of mine. I taught storytelling with him. And one of his beliefs was that the best stories, the most engaging stories, the stories that attract audiences, are those that are dealing with rituals that everyone experiences. Now, here's a simple example of that from the movie, which is really quite funny. The kids run to and from school. Dun, 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 right? Down the street, down the alley, whatever. We see them in various times, and sometimes it's even sped up. So we see them running real fast, and they're in a certain order. The bully's chasing, and then you have Randy who's dressed up like a tick about to pop, or a slug, and he's going along in the back. It's the ritual of going to and from school. Now, if you grew up without any ritualistic sense of going to and from school, even if it was on a bus, I would be very surprised. I don't know how that could happen. Going to and from school is a ritual. Okay, so another ritual. If you live in the upper Midwest, or maybe upper New England, or upper Northwest, Shepard was from the Hammond, Indiana area. I grew up in Chicago. I get this. Maybe you're going to get it too. And it's time for winter, and you're young, and you're going outside, your parents, particularly your mother, is going to want you all dressed up to stay warm and avoid frostbite, right? And so you have to put on all of these clothes. It's a ritual. Now, it's made fun of hyperbolically in the movie with poor Randy being forced by mom into this winter outfit, and then wrapped up around his head with the scarf and all. But this is a ritual that we practice. Most of us do in some kind in the winter if it's cold weather. And so Shepard puts it in the movie as a ritual, knowing that viewers will identify with it more or less as a ritual. So to Shepard, going shopping for a Christmas tree was a ritual. And it was in my home too. We would go out to a local lot somewhere. An adult would scan the lot, see where the best prices maybe were in the area. And then there would come a time, usually on a Saturday, where we would head out to the Christmas tree lot, and then we would go through the ritual of buying the tree. And Shepard puts that ritual of buying a tree in the movie as a kind of bargaining thing. I have a video on that in terms of the Christmas tree ritual and Shepard's view of that and the life lesson in that. So what other rituals can you think of that are in the movie? Well, one really obvious one is getting around the table to eat. Now, I know that ritual has kind of gone down the tubes a little bit as kids get so involved. I talk about this some in my book. That ritual of eating meals together every night is not the way it used to be, but it is a ritual, and it's been a ritual that's been very, very important in families. School itself, being in school where you get an assignment that you don't want to do. Kids, we're going to write a theme. Oh, it's a ritual. So what Gene Shepard liked to do in order to bring in people to his stories was take everyday life, find these things that were rituals that we do repeatedly in everyday life, and then use them hyperbolically, that is exaggeration, in his stories to attract people. So he would reflect back to us the rituals that are part of our everyday life. More or less. Okay, not every ritual is going to hit everybody the same way, like getting in the Christmas suit. If you're from the North, you get that right away. But again, he set the movie around the time and place where he was growing up, in this case 1940, in northern Indiana, supposedly the Hammond area, Homond as it's called. So the rituals in a Christmas story, in fact, are what bring us in, because they're rituals supposedly by Shepard that we can identify with. And I'll tell you one thing, if you want to tell stories yourself, for whatever purposes, maybe you're a teacher, maybe you're a business person and you're trying to convey conversation with somebody that you're trying to do a business deal with, or whatever it is, if you can tell a story about something that others can identify because it's ritualistic, you will be a much more successful storyteller. In the appendix to my book, here's the hardcover version of it, of A Christmas Story, the appendix, I talk a little bit about how Shepard created and told his stories based on rituals. It's principally the way he operated. Well, I hope you like this. And, we like the rituals in A Christmas Story because we can identify them, and so we end up being ritualistic watchers of a movie that deals with rituals that we can identify with, even if it's not the same time and place. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like a copy of my book, I'll put a link down below. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel there too. And please, if you'd like a personal copy while I still have them, if there's a link down below, you can order a copy and I will sign it. Your friends and family will open the book and see it's signed just for them. In fact, tell me how to sign it. Thanks so much.